Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to share the panel with a very distinguished individual from NATO headquarters, Dr. Niehus, who represents the NATO Public Diplomacy Division. And I'm Mikheil Darchiashvili, Deputy Defense Minister of Georgia. I'm really delighted to be here in Riga at the conference, which is happening just 1 week after a very historic summit of the NATO heads of state and the government. And it will be fair to first start with analyzing what were the main deliverables of the summit. We as a partner nation, we value the outcomes of the summit when it comes to the transatlantic bond strengthening, when it comes to the strengthening of the NATO capabilities, and of course the open door policy, which we will speak after we finalize these topics. And Dr. Niehus, I would be glad to hear your opinion about the summit deliverables.
Well, I think thank you, Michael, and also from my side, it's a pleasure to be here in Riga at a really stunning location. I've been several times in Riga before, but never in this spectacular building. So really enjoy being here with you. Now, for the summit, I think this probably the single most important result achievement allies and NATO have had is the agreement on the Readiness Action Plan in response to the clearly very much changed security environment in Europe following the Russian illegal annexation of the Crimean Peninsula and the Russian provocations in Ukraine. So the Readiness Action Plan, which has a dual approach, reassurance to allies, but also realignment, readaptation of our military posture, I think is the single most important result. It goes hand in hand, clearly also with allies agreeing to sort of change the tide when it comes to defense spending. A number of elements which are in the Readiness Action Plan, such as the so-called spearhead force, will be resource intensive. So allies agreed to work towards the famous 2% GDP margin for defense spending in their budgets in the decades to come, and in any case to also hold the decline of defense budgets. So I think this pledge on defense spending is the second key result of the summit, and again combined with that probably also the renewal of the transatlantic bond, the transatlantic link. There are many others, but I think those are the three things which I would single out.
Absolutely. I think we are on the same page, and allies and the NATO faces the real challenges, whether it's drawdown of the contingent from Afghanistan or the activation and the gross violation of the human rights and the barbarian actions of the ICIC in Syria and in Iraq, and of course first and foremost the Russia's invasion and occupation of Ukraine and the annexation of the Crimea. And I would like to use this moment to say a few words about it. The government of Georgia fully supports Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty, and of course we deplore strongest way the Russian actions against the sovereign nation of Ukraine. If we look back a little bit, what's happening in Ukraine, it's already happened in Georgia in 2008. Russians invaded us, occupied us, and now it's happening in Ukraine, and we should expect the continuation unless the Kremlin's very provocative and aggressive policy to